Good morning, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Oh, just fine. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. I was having a conversation yesterday, and it was this young lady was basically expounding. I was talking about God being love, and I said, far too often church uses guilt, condemnation, and so forth. And they say that God's a vengeful God. So of course, she pulled every scripture out of the Bible to show that God was a vengeful God. But what I realized is if you talk to 8 billion people, there's 8 billion different versions of God. Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah, really.
Yeah.
You know, hey, you know all about me. I don't know that much about you.
What do you want to know?
Oh, just, I mean, what you do, with people you talk to stuff like that.
Okay. Well, we'll probably have that talk because right now it's about you. So we'll do that after we're done recording. Any questions you have or whatever, we can talk about that. And the truth of the matter is, I know about you and I know what, of course, you're willing to share, but most of what we're talking about is spirit, God, mindset, so forth. So that's more of what we talk about. But yeah, like I said, we can have conversations so you can find out a little bit more about me. I remember when I sent you a picture of me and my family, and you said that was kind of how I imagined you. And you thought about NCIS and you thought about LL Cool J. And it's funny that you said that because somebody in my family, we were talking around Christmas time and we were exchanging photos. And one of the grandsons said, "Oh, yeah, you look like LL Cool J." So they confirmed what you said about the NCIS guy. But just wanted to, but we'll talk more about me after the talk, whatever you want to know. I'm an open book. I think my audience knows more about me than probably because I'm talking directly to them, so I'm talking about my experiences and so forth. I didn't think you wanted to hear about that stuff anyway. So we'll talk more about that after the talk. But so let's talk about this 8 billion gods. Everybody thinks that we all believe in the same God until we start talking about God.
No, no, no. There's all kinds of gods out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing I really can't really understand. There's so many gods out there, and there's only one,
Mhm.
and he's right here, right now. He's in me, he's in you, he's
Absolutely.
in all the people, but nobody recognizes that.
Yeah.
See, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get them to recognize that God is in you, not out there, not, you know. But why is it they always put them out there? Yeah, it says very, very, very plainly in Scripture that I am with you always. Wouldn't it be right now?
Right here, right now.
Then I ask them, well, what's your problem? Blank. I know. You know, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Do you know when you're worrying?
I do.
Do,
I,
do most people know when they're worrying?
I don't think so. I think that they think that that's just
Natural.
exactly. Thank you. Exactly. Yeah, but I do.
Yeah. Because you see, that's their whole problem.
Mhm.
They're I talk to people and I actually from what they say, it sounds like they're worrying all the time. And I ask them, do you know when you're worrying? And they go, well, you know, they don't even know when they're worrying.
They don't.
And that's setting the tone of their whole life.
It's,
I mean, when you're worrying, you're bringing about the very thing you're worried about.
absolutely.
I tell them that all the time. Doesn't that go through?
It goes through all right. It goes
Yeah.
through okay.
Yeah.
It does go through.
Well, yeah. Coffee. Ah, it's my third cup, by the way.
Okay, well, if
So
something,
I might have to say, pause. You know, old people pee a lot.
I was going to have to say, if you need a break, let me know. We'll work it in there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I tell people over and over, what you worry about, you bring about. Why does that seem to just go? They don't realize when they're worrying. Is that it?
They don't, and they don't understand the consequences of the worry. Many people think that they can worry and bring about the opposite result. You think that you can take a worry prayer to God. You're fretting and you're praying about this problem, and you think that the problem's going to go away. Because that's how we've been taught. That's how we've been trained.
Yeah. 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 Uh, what you think about most feelingly, you bring about. That's it. It's that simple. What you think about most willingly, you're framing your life with a negative, and that's what we're told. Well, you're what? You're given a positive and a negative, and you're told choose this day. Why is that so difficult?
Was that a rhetorical question?
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
Like I said, yeah, most of it's programming. That's just the bottom line. And until you change the programming, you're not going to change the
Yeah, I
results.
like that. I like that. It is the program. They are programmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, just programmed on the wrong side of the
Correct.
aisle.
Correct. Correct.
You know, I find that people are actually talking about what they're worried about, and they don't know that what they're telling me is that they're worried about it, but they don't see it that way.
No. They
Uh,
think, you know what they think when they're talking to you? They think that I'm just being realistic. I'm just being honest. So, and that's the catalyst that sets up their whole life.
yeah, really. But they don't seem to grasp that, you know. The mind is is unpredictable. It's not being directed.
Yeah.
You see, you're thinking all the time, but if you're not paying attention to what you're thinking about, then you're not paying attention to what you're doing in your life. It's that simple. And everybody always asks me, can you make scriptures simple? Well, those are the simple tones that are there all through the scriptures, but you have to pick them out. You know, when I first read scripture, you just read right across the lines, and then but you see, there are those points where it should grab your mind for at least a moment, but does it?
You know something, you say that, and I so often hear the religious person say, you're choosing and picking scripture. You're how do they call it? There's a name
Yeah,
that they go. You
Yeah,
know,
I hear that.
but they don't understand. We all do that. You know, even your pastors, Jesus did that. Paul did that. They didn't gloss over the whole Bible. They would give you a particular line, a particular phrase, and then they would expound on it. But they say, you know, you're nitpicking, you're picking the scriptures that you want, but that's how mind works. You don't take the whole Bible at one time and say, let me give you this. So it goes back to what you were saying. You take that one line, that one verse, and you expound on it.
Yeah, but you know, they tell me I used to give uh, chapter and verse and all of that, but you know, I tell them that, and they go and they read the little line there, and then they say, well, what does that mean? Well, if you'd have read a little bit before it and a little bit after it, it would have told you. I mean, it explains itself quite vividly, I think. But obviously, it's not. It's a mystery. You know, the scripture is a mystery to people.
Yeah.
You know, why? It's your book of life. What's mystery about that?
I'm laughing because when I was a kid, I would hear the adults talk, and they say that book of Revelation. I don't mess with that book of Revelation. That book of Revelation is something else. It's too complicated. It's a mystery. I don't mess with that book of Revelation, and it's because they don't have any revelation. But once you start reading, Spirit will begin, as you call it, the remembrancer will begin to reveal to you what's being said.
You know, I'll tell you, the one thing you have to do is constantly tell the people that they need a CD, DVD, whatever, to actually listen to every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day for 30 days, and it'll change your life. I'm speaking about what, a half an hour?
Yeah. Each side. Yeah.
I mean, just listen to a half an hour every day, and with four of them, that's 8 days.
Yeah.
If you do that consistently, persistently, it'll change your life dramatically. Yeah. But you have to focus. You have to pay attention, because what has your attention has your life. And if talking to most people, what has their attention, that's not even a life.
Yeah.
I mean, they're complaining about everything, but and when you complain about something, you just get more of that.
That's true. That's true. The thing is, I've talked to people that have listened to the 4 CD set and who have done it consistently and persistently, and they're reaping the benefits, because now what they're doing is controlling their own inner conversation. And when you can do that, you certainly can control your world. You have better apprehension on the world.
That's all there is to it. Is you in control. That's what we're doing here. We're putting you in control. We're telling you that as you think, you are, you do, you have, you be. So if you change your thinking, you're told, change your mind, change your world. How difficult would that be, just to change your mind? And if you look at it long enough, it'll change for you. You just have to get involved. That's what you want people to do. Get involved. Listen to if they don't have the material, I don't know if they have it. Are they not using it? Is that what it is?
I think that's probably, for those who actually make the purchase, they may have it. And we've been taught as a society that let's say you purchase a 4 CD set. You listen to that 4 CD set, and you say, okay, I listen to that. Then I go into the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. But we never occupy long enough that material.
That's it. That's it. I had a half a dozen of Neville's tapes, And I listened to them at least one every night for years before it actually touched base. I began thinking differently. The importance of having a CD, because what has your focus has your life. Think about it. We're not asking you to join anything, but you have to have the CDs. You have to have the DVDs. You have to listen to them. It's you training this. Listen, listen, listen.
But as Mr. Lindell stated, you have to listen to them repeatedly. And again, for those who are interested, click the link below and it will take you to the 4 CD set, and you'll be able to transform not only your mind, but your world.